Hello and welcome to another update where I report on the latest news and updates from the front line all over the Ukraine front. Starting out in the Zaporizhzhia front, we see that the Russian forces have started attacks in the direction of Orikhiv as well as Huliaipole. These two cities are similar to that of Svatove and Kreminna in terms of importance and ability, as we can see that the Orikhiv and Huliaipole also have a connection between them by this highway here, on top of the fact that they are significant cities where the Ukrainians are using as supply hubs, and it is essentially a bike that we can ride on. To success. These are mostly just positional battles, as the Russians are trying to get a better position south of these areas, as if the Ukrainians start an offensive on the Zaporizhzhia front, it will most likely come from these two cities as well as Kamyansk, where they will try to attack in the direction of Tokmak, after which they will attack in the direction of Melitopol. That's it for the Zaporizhzhia front. Moving on to the Donetsk front, the Russian forces are continuing their attacks in the direction of Novomikhailivka as well as Nevelske, Pervomaisk and Vodian, as they continue their intense urban fighting within these cities and villages west of Donetsk. As for the Bakhmut front, starting out in the Klishchivka area, we see that the Russian forces have taken control over a canal crossing to the west of Klishchivka. At the same time, they're advancing in the direction of the trench network west of Klishchivka, and they have managed to capture the hills east of Klishchivka while they are attacking in the direction of Klishchivka from the north. The Russians will most likely use their position east of Klishchivka on these hills to attack the city itself as well as the Ukrainian positions west of Klishchivka. There's also been reports that most Ukrainian defenders in Klishchivka have actually left to behind Klishchivka, where there's also high ground to the west, where the Russian forces will most likely be engaging them outside of Klishchivka through the two hills, where they'll be fighting on a leveled field. Further north in the direction of Upitne, the fighting is ongoing, as well as to the north in the direction of Pithorodne, where the Russian forces have managed to reach the outskirts of the village. To the north, where the Russian forces have managed to reach within 1 kilometer of the village itself, and to the south of Soledar, we see that the Russian forces have also advanced in this open field. As for Bakhmutske, the Russian forces have actually managed to completely capture the village, as they recently started an assault that's taken them to the center of the city, as well as captured the train station to the west of Soledar. With this, we see that the Russian forces have actually also advanced to the east of Soledar, where they are using this as an opportunity to outflank the Ukrainian positions, which is a defensive line here at the center of the city, because this area here is the highlands within the city, while this here to the east is at a higher altitude than the city itself, while the southern area is the lowest point. So instead of attacking from a lower point towards the Ukrainian fortified positions, they've actually managed to outflank the Ukrainian positions by attacking to the north of it after capturing Yakovlivka. With this, the Russian forces have the advantage within Soledar, and most likely we'll see Soledar falling soon, as the Russians have now outflanked their defensive positions and are storming through the city, where they have captured over half of it. Moving on to the Luhansk front, we see that the Russian forces are continuing their attacks in the direction of Spirne as well as Bilhorivka, where they try to gain control over this area, as well as in the direction of Dibrova, where the latest War Council report actually reports that the Russian forces control half of the forest line south of Dibrova. In the northern direction, the Russian forces continue their attacks in the direction west of Plushenka. And finally, the Ukrainian forces are attacking in the direction of Novoselivsk as they try to cut off the road. Now, to respond to some criticism that Chernipovivka has been reported by Wargun so that it has been taken, the reason why I haven't updated this is that this was reported over a month ago, and I've still seen no videos, no evidence whatsoever of this being the case. And at the same time, all other sources are reporting that the Ukrainians have reached the outskirts of it, but have not actually fought within it or taken it. I'm leaving this as the Russians holding it until I see some sort of evidence that the Ukrainians actually have control of it. Until then, the situation will look like this. As for Dibrova itself, I've also seen some reports stating that the Ukrainian forces have taken this, and then there was some video evidence. However, the video was south of Dibrova in the forest line, as well as northwest to this forest line here, after which there has been reported fighting 2.5 kilometers northwest of Dibrova, as well as the Russians taking control over most of the northwestern area of Dibrova, according to the latest reports by Zodiac Mapping. With this, I can state that Dibrova is still standing, and Chernobyl-Pivka is most likely still standing as well, while the Ukrainian forces have attacked these positions but have since been pushed back. If any of you have corrections to my map and my reporting, or any suggestions, feel free to comment it down below. I will read the comments and I'll reflect on it, and if you can convince me or give me a reliable source, then I will edit my map accordingly. Since you cannot post links down in the comment section, just tell me who has posted it and when, and I'll take a look at it myself. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.